Good evening, everyone. My name is Nelson Danswabiam, and in this project, I'll be presenting my final projects, my community analysis final findings. The two communities I analyze are student performance and Coco in movie rating data. So, student performance and Coco in movie rating data. So in this project, I built two SQL analytical models. The first model analyzed youth academic performance using structured student data. The second one, or the second model analyzes consumer rating behavior using movie rating data from CocoIn. Both models were built in SQL Server using structured queries to transform raw data into meaningful insights. The purpose of this project was in two folds. For the student performance data set, the goal was to empower educators and parents with data-driven insights that can improve academic outcomes. For the Coco In dataset, the objective was to understand consumer behavior and potential rating via the media platforms. The key stakeholders include teachers. Here, the key stakeholders include the youth program directors, curriculum analysts, NGO, education strategists, training coordinators, financial literacy coach, and then um, Nelson as the head coach for yeah Nelson as the financial analyst, and then media literacy educators, and that is for both the Coco In and then the student performance. So, in a nutshell, they include the administrators, the parents, the media analysts, and then the marketers, as well as the consumers. So, I use an SQL data manipulation to answer focused and approach questions. Okay, so first I created clear analytical question. Then I translated questions into SQL scripts. I use SQL Server Management Studio to run uh, the queries, yeah, to run my queries and validate the results. Um, I also use the query that I documented and structured using the select where, group by, and then the order by clauses. So what I'm trying to say here is that each query was documented and structured using the proper select where, group by, and then the order by clauses. So in community one, so here are my community. Uh, so as I was saying, here are my communities. So in community community one, so here is the slides for the project, and the slide contains the two analysis, the community analysis, what I built, the data sets used, uh, why I built it, just as I explained earlier on, how I built it. This is why I built it and how I built it, and then introduction to the data set. So the student performance, I mean, let's have about 100 plus or 1,000 plus records, which includes scores, gender, presenter, education, preps, and status. So movie rating votes, releases years from the, as the Coco in. So this is my presentation. So here are my two communities. Community one, and my first question is, how many students scored over 80 in physics? How many scored 80 in physics? Let me change this one to mass and save it. Okay, so let me see how many score students score 80 in maths. So this is the query, and I run the query return 0. So it means that, so what I use is, I use the count function to calculate how many students meet the condition. The where clause, filters the database to include only students whose math score is greater than 80. And this gives a direct numerical answer to the question. Okay. So this result here shows that um, zero students score above 80. So again, a view. I created a view to store the logics of the query. A view allows the calculation of the or the calculations to be reused without rewriting the query. So this improves maintainability and supports modular SQL design. So here is the view successfully, executed. So I went ahead to next step 4. I went ahead to create a physical table to store the results of the view. So this simulates a reporting table that stakeholders could what, access. So now I load the table from the view. So here the truncate statement here clears the old data, and then the insert statement loads from calculated data from the view. Then again, I also created a stored procedures, or the store procedure. The store procedure automates the refresh process. So, for instance, instead of manually running multiple commands, stakeholders can execute one store uh, procedure. So, and then I execute the procedure. So, executing the stored procedure reloads the reporting table with updated data. So all the scripts or queries that I demonstrated are all here. As those are demonstrated for community one are all here. These are the scripts. You can see those that I executed or run in the SSMS are all here. Okay, so that is for the community one. So let me go back to community two. I've been pausing the video because of the time. So this is my community two, and in my community two, I use the same procedure and strategy used in community one to answer all my questions. And then what I did was I actually had an ad hoc query, create a view, create a table, load tables, store procedure just as I did in the first, which is the community one, and then I execute uh, the procedure. So both projects demonstrate structured SQL development using the answers focused approach. Um, what I did was I started with a question. I translate the questions into SQL, store logic in views, persist results in tables. I automate with store procedures. So this real reflection well database reporting architecture. Thank you so much.